The gentle glow of the moonlight poured through the curtains, painting the room in silver hues. I stirred slightly, the sheets tangled around my legs, my body still heavy from a day filled with hiking, laughter, and moments I never wanted to forget. The cabin smelled of pine and the faintest hint of lavender from the candles we had lit earlier. I hadn't planned to fall asleep here in Ethan's bed, but the exhaustion of the day had claimed me before I could retreat to my own room. The soft creak of the wooden floor pulled me from the haze of slumber. Opening my eyes, I saw Ethan standing at the doorway. His gaze lingered on me longer than I expected, his features softened by the moonlight. There was something different in his expression, a mixture of warmth and hesitation. "Ethan," my voice came out groggy, thick with sleep. I pushed myself up on my elbows, the cool night air brushing against my bare shoulders as the blanket slipped away. "Hey," he said, his voice soft, almost apologetic. "I didn't mean to wake you. I just wanted to check on you." His words lingered in the air, heavy with unspoken tension. I noticed the way his eyes darted to mine, then quickly away. There was a vulnerability in his stance, a quiet war playing out behind his calm exterior. "It's late," I murmured, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," he replied too quickly, stepping further into the room. "I couldn't sleep. The cabin feels too quiet tonight." I gave him a small smile, hoping to lighten the mood. "It's the first time I've heard you complain about quiet. You've always loved this place." He chuckled softly, a sound that made my chest tighten. "I do," he admitted, sitting at the edge of the bed. His closeness sent a shiver down my spine, and I wasn't sure if it was the cool air or something else entirely. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The room felt charged, as if the air itself was holding its breath. I reached out, placing a hand on his arm. "You seem different tonight. Is something on your mind?" Ethan turned to me, his gaze steady now, filled with something I couldn't quite name. "Ava," he began, his voice low, "things between us have changed, haven't they?" I felt my heart race, the weight of his words settling between us. He wasn't wrong. The dynamic that once defined our relationship had shifted, though I couldn't pinpoint when or how. All I knew was that the way he looked at me now wasn't the way he used to, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. "Yes," I whispered, barely audible. "I think they have." Before I could overthink, Ethan leaned closer, his hand brushing a stray strand of hair from my face. His touch was gentle, hesitant, as if afraid of crossing an invisible line. But then his lips found mine, and everything else fell away. The kiss was tentative at first, a cautious exploration. But as I responded, it deepened, filled with emotions I hadn't realized I'd been bottling up. His hands moved to cup my face, his fingers trailing softly along my jawline. "Ethan," I breathed as we pulled apart, my mind spinning. "What are we doing?" "What we've both wanted for a long time," he admitted, his voice raw with honesty. I couldn't argue with that. My heart pounded as he kissed me again, this time with more urgency, more certainty. The boundaries we'd carefully maintained for years crumbled in an instant, leaving nothing but the truth of what we felt for one another. The rest of the night passed in a blur of whispered confessions and stolen touches, a dance between two people who had finally stopped pretending. By the time the first rays of dawn peeked through the curtains, I lay in his arms, my head resting against his chest. Where do we go from here? I asked softly, my fingers tracing idle patterns on his skin. Ethan pressed a kiss to my hair, his voice steady as he replied, "Wherever you want, Ava. As long as we're together, I don't care." In that moment, I knew we'd figure it out. The world outside could wait. For now, it was just us. Two people finding solace in each other, daring to believe that what we'd found was real.